everyone, I hope you're doing well. I'm really excited to bring you another For the Coaches video, and this one is going to be all about angles. Now, how you approach angles is going to be very different depending on the style of arc that the goalie is playing. So I'm not going to go into details today about arc positioning and arc play and pros and cons of each one. Just understand that how your goalie is going to approach angles in each situation is going to vary depending on that arc, because as you can imagine, if I'm closer to the goal line, I'm giving up, okay, or covering less angle. Or if I'm starting higher out, I'm covering more angle, and as I move, that is going to change on what I'm covering and what I'm giving up, again, depending on the style that you play. The most important thing is that no matter what the style is, that you're getting your goalie comfortable and used to understanding what they are giving up at each angle as they move and as the shooter moves. So how do you work on this? Well, from the very beginning, and this is a very beginner drill, but it's just very helpful and a great starting point. Remember, it's a process. You got to learn to walk before you can run. So what I'll do is I'll have the goalie start in their ready position, in their stance. I'll start on one side up above the 12 meter, and I'll just start walking across, just so they're getting used to staying in line with the shooter as they're going across the top of the 12 as if they would be passing a ball. And as we go, if they're off, I will tell them that, let them correct, and then we'll keep going back and forth. I'll do that a couple times. Once they get used to that, I'll come in a little bit, maybe to the top of the 8. Do the same thing, walk across, adjust if they're off. I'll come in a little bit more inside the 8 meter. Do the same thing, walk across, walk back and forth, come a little bit closer into the 8 meter. Do the same thing, walk across and keep adjusting and going. Then what I'll do in the next phase of this, I'll start picking up my pace. I'll start jogging. I'm walking or jogging across and they're moving with me. Same thing, I'll keep correcting them, getting them used to understanding how they should be positioned in relation to the shooter and depending on where they are on the 8 meter. And then the last phase, I'll start running as fast as I can across, back and forth. Yes, coaches, this is a great workout for you. And then I'll come into the middle of the 8 meter and then run across again. And as I'm going, I'll stop and correct them. No, you're giving me too much on your stick side. No, you're giving me too much on your off side. And then have them make those adjustments until they get it, going from both sides, left to right, again, just so they're getting used to that positioning. The next phase, what I'll do is I'll make it more game-like, so I'll add a shot. So as I'm coming across the 8 meter, which is usually where goalies are going to struggle the most, when it's inside that positioning, understanding where they are and what they're giving up. And so I'll do that. That's really where my focus is for my advanced goalies, going across on the move from both sides. Now, I'm the first one to admit that I'm not the best shooter, so what I really like to do is have them bring one of their attacker friends, and the attacker will actually go through this and shooting, then I can just watch. And the neat part about that is I can actually teach the attacker to give the goalies feedback and start that communication process so that they start developing that and helping each other even when I'm not there. So again, now that goalie's getting the practice when we're together, but then anytime they're practicing thereafter and getting shots with their attacker friend, they're continuing to work on that positioning and getting the feedback from the attacker. So those reps are going to be crucial. Now, the last piece that I'll do to make this even more game-like, because yes, it's great that, we can work on this in a controlled setting, but we have to get these goalies to do these movements and move how we want them to in a game situation. I see a lot of struggles with that. The translation from the practice drill situation, the controlled situation, to then games. So how do we take this up a notch? Well, one easy way to do that is the turn and shoot drill. Is my absolute favorite, and I know a lot of times I've heard from goalies that it's a little bit kiddie, but that is typically when somebody's standing in front of the goal and then doing that and then not moving. as it's used commonly in a warm-up. I love it for my warm-up. I don't think it's kid-like at all. I think it's very challenging. But what I'll do is I'll start from any point in the 8 meter. It can be up top, it can be in close, it can be on the left side, the right side, whatever it is. I'll yell turn and shoot. They have to hear my voice, turn around, and then on that turn, once they get set, I'll actually move from there. So again, we're making it more challenging. They have to turn, find where the shooter is, where the ball is, and then start their movement. And again, I'll still give them that same feedback. No, you're off here. You know, you're off here. Even on the turn itself, they turn, they're out of position. No, you're out of position. Obviously, it's a little bit more difficult because you're not getting the feedback from the ball going over you, so the goalies aren't seeing that. But regardless, it's still good that they're getting that feedback and understanding how they're moving off of the turn. So again, the more reps you can get, the more game-like you can make it, the better off these goalies are going to be. And that's really the name of the game, and the process over time after they get these reps is how they're going to get that better understanding of their angles and depending on where the shooter is in the 8 meter. So again, I would love to hear any feedback on this. If anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm always here to talk anything lacrosse. If anybody has any questions, I'm here. All right, talk to you guys later. Bye.